Just like the Carlos Correa deal to the San Francisco Giants, baseball is dead.
And just like the Arson Judge deal, may it rest in peace.
Oh, man, Stevie Cohen.
Uncle Stevie!
You son of a bitch. This guy. He gets it done, Dallas.
This is everything we wanted. Everything we needed in the game of baseball. In the sport of baseball. The baseball
Truly.
god said, you know what? If these owners don't want to give you Mark Cuban, we will give you Uncle Stevie Cohen.
Steve Cohen. Steve Cohen, this is from Sports Illustrated's Tom Verducci. This came out today. We're recording on Wednesday. Steve Cohen has signed 9 free agents this winter at a cost of $806 million. According to Baseball Prospectus, the Mets payroll for 2023 is $384.3 million, which incurs a luxury tax hit of $111.6 million. Steve Cohen will pay more in taxes next season than 7 teams are paying in payroll.
And there's zero fucking need to name those names. You can just stop there. But that is a strong statement. I don't know. Blackhawks? Let's go Blackhawks, right? That's what that... Nope. That is astonishing. But you know what? This is what...
That's a third of the league.
Oh, for sure. But this is like not even... Look, this isn't super deep baseball. So this is just zoom out and think about life in general. All right? Like board games, video games. Like you got endless lives in video games, really, because you got a reset button. So you try a bunch of crazy shit. You just do a bunch of crazy shit. You're having fun because it's a game, right? And then sure, maybe when you start getting paid for it, you're banking millies because you're a baller in Rocket League and whatnot. Well, okay, you're probably not just screwing around as much. You're probably not making these big, huge gambles that you know won't pay off because you're there for the payoff, ultimately. And that's what Steve Cohen is here for, the payoff. But what's the payoff? The payoff is championships. So while he is operating from a place of passion, from a place of love, he's also operating from a place of strength, which is extremely deep financial resources. So he's able to play the game and not have to play it through a lens of, is this fiscally responsible? Are we doing everything I should be financially to make money? He's saying, you know what? We could lose on this return here. It might not be what we want because anything short of a World Series is kind of what Steve Cohen is telling you he's after, right? But this is the kind of shit that you want to see happen. You want to see somebody come in and disrupt the status quo. Because until Uncle Stevie showed up, there was really only one quote unquote empire that was willing or had ever shown the willingness to overspend or quote unquote purchase championships. Well, now you got Uncle Stevie rolling up the sleeves saying, buddy, I'm absolutely here for that too. Love me some baseball. Love me some World Series rings. Would like to put one on. What do we got to do? Double teams' payrolls just with my luxury tax? Fucking done. It's just money. I'll make more. Like, that's a hell of a place to be coming from. And that's where he's coming from. And so when you see somebody that's got that kind of power, you want him to behave this way, right? And I get it. Like, you're like, hey, look, if you could do something about world hunger and shit, like, that'd be great too. Like, we got some things we could check out.
I don't care about that. I don't care about that.
You're right.
I think for the questions that people are asking right now.
Fuck them kids.
All right. For the question of, is Steve Cohen good for baseball? Yes or no?
Yes.
And
yes.
What it boils
Hard
down
yes.
to,
loud yes.
What it boils down to is Steve Cohen ruining baseball because he's spending all this money and now it's the evil empire 2.0, where he's going to have this ridiculous payroll and he's buying championships and the Mets are now evil? Or is it, and this is the correct answer, just a little spoiler, the correct answer would be Steve Cohen is essentially exposing all the other owners in Major League Baseball as these penny pinching billionaires who absolutely can afford to pay the players what they're actually worth and have these payrolls where you do hit the luxury tax threshold and maybe you have to pay a penalty and you say, fuck it, we're trying to win a championship. That's essentially what Steve Cohen, and I'll pull up the exact quote because it was very much big dick energy as it pertains to Steve Cohen's outlook. Here it is. Steve Cohen on why he was willing to try for Correa and run his payroll to $375 million and tax to $100 million. Quote, I've been dealing with big numbers for so long. These numbers don't scare me at all.
And that's the fucking, that right there, that says essentially what I tweeted earlier today about Steve Cohen and basically how things went, like how the conversation went when they're talking about being able to sign Steve Cohen, right? I said Giants. Well, looks like a red flag popped up. We're just not going to be able to commit for 13 years at that price. And what's Uncle Stevie's response? Hey, you cool if we just take like a year off that deal that you had in place? And if so, cool, let me check my couch cushions for that change. I think we can cover that. Like, it's not, he's got that in his fucking ashtray, Jared. So it's not and so to your
point, motherfucker was on a beach in Hawaii being like, Carlos Correa.
You want to know what?
Sure.
Well, no, what he was like is he was like,
he's available again. Oh, Carlos. Yeah, we could. Well, we already have Francisco Lindor at shortstop. Well, this Carlos guy, will he play third base for us? Yes. Okay. Yeah, we can do $300 million. Mm-hmm. Sure. 315. Yeah, we'll bump it up to 315. Sure. Why not?
Yeah. Well, he was caught in between whether or not he wanted to buy the island chain just north of the island he was setting on, or he wanted a shortstop that day. He was like, I'm going to do some rough napkin math here. Looks like we landed on Correa. We'll talk about the chain tomorrow at lunch. Yeah.
Joseph, where do you land on Steve Cohen being good or bad for baseball?
I don't know. Yeah, in order for it to be bad if the Mets were like winning World Series every year, no one could beat it. They went undefeated this year. They were,
they just ran the tank.
I don't see how you could make that argument.
His presence, just this behavior, because we don't see this kind of behavior. Like, seriously,
we don't usually have criminals owning teams, racketeering in Major League.
Well, that's been happening for a long time.
Well, add it to the list. Not at this level. This is obviously a crime, but whatever. I mean, this is sure. What was the quote you just said? He's used that was a.
He's been dealing with big numbers his whole life. What's another one, basically?
Yeah, money's not real. That's the Sam Bankman-Fried. This is FTX and MLB all over again. This is a scam.
Oh no! Are you saying
the way that my first question?
Oh, Joey.
I'm saying the Mets. My first question with Steve Cohen and his spending next week to finance.
But like, if you look at it on the surface, like how even if the Mets win the World Series, is it still possible for him to turn a profit on a $400 million payroll plus $100 million in luxury tax penalties? Like, can he turn a profit on a championship season?
This was what I was going to say to your point about him exposing other ownerships. I don't know that he's not exposing anything if you're understanding that the reason that teams choose not to hit these tax thresholds is because that starts to cut in, very obviously, to their bottom line, right? So you're trying to operate within certain margins where you can maximize your profit. And if you're doing that, you're not signing X, Y, and Z to certain contracts, lengthwise, AAV-wise. you know that you have to operate in these certain zones and have X amount on this tier, X amount on this tier, so on and so forth. So it's not a matter of exposing. What he's doing is what we love, is these folks and a majority of the other ownership groups are operating in a space where they want to maximize profit and win. They found their sweet spot when it comes to those two things. Steve Cohen's sweet spot between maximizing profit and wanting to win looks very, very, very different.
Wow.
So he is quite literally willing to wear it on the chin, walk away with very little in terms of profitability. He wants the ring. And that
he's buying it, but like it's not a bad thing.
Aroused, Jared.
Yeah, like it's not a bad thing to be an owner that just fucking wants to win so bad that it's and I get that not every owner is going to be this way. A majority, if not most, other owners are not going to look at this and be like, I am going all in to get a ring no matter what the fuck it takes. I'll take a loss to get a ring. That's just not happening.
Think about this. Aside from the profitability aspect of it, owners getting angry at Steve Cohen about this would be tantamount to guys being angry that Nolan Ryan was blowing 100 the way he was. Like, not wanting him to do that. Like, look, man, you've exposed the idea that you're just that much fucking better when it comes to this thing that you can do than we are, as far as like us being able to, put the bat on the, like, can you not like that?
But do you, I know
that's
what we
kind
want
of,
to
but
have
not
happen.
really.
Like what we want to have happen here is other owners are like, fuck, like now we have to spend more because this guy's spending more. Like this is the Leroy Jenkins video. That's all it is. Steve Cohen is the Leroy Jenkins guy, and he's running in there, and all the other guys are looking around, being like, "Ah, god damn it, dude!" Like I don't know that other owners will follow suit just because Leroy Jenkins did.
It's not spend more; it's make less.
Jake and Joe have no idea what Leroy Jenkins is, and that's fucking. Do you know, Joe?
I know.
You do?
Yeah, it's a video. It's a fucking World of Warcraft, man.
Okay, all right. I'm just making sure. It's one of like like an OG internet.
Born at
video.
night, wasn't born last night, buddy.
All right, just making sure.
To be fair to Steve Cohen, we're talking Steve Cohen. The guy's worth, I think, like 2 times more than any other owner. So under that logic, he can take twice as much risk.
Well, yeah, that's why I said like
far out of bounds. I think the most limitation
17.5 billion.
That's pretty good. Steve Cohen has paid more in fines to the SEC than he has on payroll this offseason.
That's Joe coming with the numeros. See, like that matters. Like
that might not be true.
Okay, so we can't. So then I definitely can't co-sign to that non-fact. But what I would like to say is, if that were true,
but he should.
That would reflect even more his willingness to really get the job done, whatever he's looking to achieve. Like he's driving the point home, And
like, that is that's roughly 17% of his net worth just on free agents this offseason. Like
it's not
17% of your net worth is a lot. Like, yeah, he has $17.5 billion, but he spent $806 million. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
That's great. I love that. I like, who doesn't love that? Look, that's
I love it. I do love it. I just don't think that it's going to inspire other owners to be like, we got to step it the fuck up. Like this is not going to be that way. Like, are they going to, like, is Steve Cohen's spending going to somewhere down the line introduce like the Cohen tax, where it's like, now we get a tax you. What do you mean, the one that they already
have?
Well, there is one.
That's the idea. Like, that's the whole point. They've already introduced the Cohen tax. That's a real thing that exists. And he, that's the whole point, is these other owners were like, okay, they've set this invisible bar, and we're not going to, we don't want to flirt with that. And not unless there's a talent that becomes available that we're willing to invest in to that degree, are we even entertaining flirting with that invisible barrier. And Cohen's like, buddy, invisible barriers don't exist. You fucking create them. Got it? You show them That's what he did. He was like, hold on, guys, Major League Baseball, I just want to let you know what I'm willing to spend here. Let me show you. And he opened up his wallet. He's willing to just a little peek. And Major League Baseball was like, all right, fuck. Like, we got to start setting boundaries here. Like, if you're spending this, we got to take some. Like, we just can't let you.
Where does that money go, by the way? Someone asked if it gets divvied up with like the poor teams like the Oakland A's or something like that.
For sure.
Where does that $111 million go?
There you go. All part of like rev share.
It goes to what, like all the bottom half or the bottom third?
All part of rev share. I don't know exactly right off the top, but it's part of revenue sharing.
Jesus, we gotta find that out. We can't fucking call passing. Who would know? All the people like passing can't come on because I think he's with a competing gambling company, and Evan Drellick would probably know. He's like a business of baseball guy, but we haven't spoken in 3 years. Who else would know?
Just pull up the
Siri won't
CBA,
know.
dude. Let's spend the next 2 hours going through the CBA line by line.
I mean, it's fucking Wednesday.
People would love
I got
that.
a bottle of Burby and a little Smoke Johnson. I'm fucking down to drown.
Who's like a national writer that we could call right now? Who the fuck?
I don't know. I mean, look, the bottom line is Steve Cohen is more than willing to wear the tax, way more tax than you're willing to spend to be competitive. Like, that's
doesn't
the
even sound
take-home
like it was a
message here.
consideration. He was just like 111 million. That's all right. Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, just throw it on.
Done.
Fine.
Done.
Correa? Done.
Like he has a payroll of 100 plus, or teams that don't have a payroll of $100+ million, and Steve Cohen is walking around with a tax of north of $100 million. That's the difference in the game that he's playing or he's choosing to play. That's the difference. What other teams are willing to spend,
$385 million payroll with a tax of, call it, $112 million.
300.
and I mean,
Pretty good.
that's not even a knock. That's not even
basically
a knock on the teams that don't.
That's
spend 100 mil. Like,
roughly the money that he's committed to the 2023 New York Mets. $500 million. Half a bill he just dropped on the 2023 New York Mets.
you know what that
Like, does that
Well,
put
you know
an
what that says,
unnecessary amount of pressure on the team? Like, if you're that team, you're like, we're the $500 million fucking Mets. If we don't win, then we're going to be a fucking laughing stock in this league because of how much money was invested into this club. If we don't win,
no.
I feel like it's catch 20. It's catch 22 because obviously you want an owner that's like, fuck it, I'm spending everything I got on this team. But then if you're the players, you're like, oh god damn it, like now we can't lose. How are we going to lose? Look at this roster.
Because it's obvious that he has gone out and tried to acquire the best possible available players. And he's just said, you know what? These are the guys that I need, and these are the guys that I'd like. These are the guys that are available. They all happen to check a lot of the same boxes in terms of highly paid, star caliber, elite talent. But we all know that doesn't necessarily mean that things click. That doesn't guarantee you a championship, not in the game of baseball. It's just that simple. It's that simple because you don't know what's coming. You can assemble what you feel is the greatest group of possible free agents and core, combine those, and you just don't know how that's going to shake out at the end. And that could be part chemistry, that could be part health, that could be part performance. It is a combination of all of those at the end of the day. We know that. And so that's why it's a roll of the dice. He's willing to spend this amount of money over this amount of years to give his team this good of a shot, talent-wise, year in, year out. He's buying a window. And that's what you hope to cultivate as an organization, is a window. You draft talent, you hope to grow them, you hope to put them in positions and identify what they do well to help your big league club over the first 6-7 years. And then you go from there.
As a fan of not one but two teams in the NL East that are not the New York Mets,
huge Philly guy.
How does this stuff make you feel? Because like I didn't even really consider that. Like I think baseball fans get excited. Like obviously, if you're a Mets fan, you're very excited going from the Wilpons to Steve Cohen. From like the Mets are not really a threat to me. I don't even really have a fucking baseball team. So it's interesting. It's fascinating for me to watch. But as a fan of two different teams in the NL East that are not the New York Mets, how, like, through what lens are you watching this play out? Like, you woke up this morning to breaking news that Carlos Correa is not a San Francisco Giant. He is a New York Met. Like, how, like, what does your thought process, like, take me through that?
Honest, as a Braves fan, knowing that you can go toe to toe to them, it's more of, I think, my perspective, it got me hyped for like the season, just because it's gonna be a war.
Oh shit!
And we've seen it before.
Fire me up, Joe.
Because the Mets, I mean, let's not forget, they spent more than anyone last season too, and they had the division in their grasps.
Tell them.
And when they fucking choked it, they tripped and slipped on their own tail.
Yeah.
It was a sweet, sweet feeling.
You feel that way even after losing Dansby?
Oh, because here you go.
Yeah. We're going to miss Dansby, man. We saw it coming from a mile away.
We'll get to that. I want you to have time to lay your boy to rest.
Correct. I mean, there's a lot of narrative.
We got some gloating to do there.
There's a lot of narratives.
Yeah.
There's a lot of narratives going around with this Mets. I mean, listen, I don't know who's the doctor over here for the Mets. I mean, accepting all these guys that got medical issues, x-rays coming back weird.
This deal fell through because of an ankle injury from 2014. 2014. That's the medical issue that torpedoed Carlos Correa's contract with the San Francisco Giants. And I'm going to pull this up. Same article from Tom Verducci, Sports Illustrated. Direct quote. Having arrived the previous day, Carlos Correa woke up in San Francisco on Tuesday and dressed to impress for his 11 a.m. Pacific introductory news conference as the new shortstop of the Giants. The news conference never happened. By late in the evening, Correa was the third baseman for the Mets.
Damn.
That's how fucking close this thing got. He woke up the morning of Tuesday morning in San Francisco, dressed and ready to go for the press conference.
Had his bow tie on.
That's how close this got to the finish line.
That reminds me of the Joe Madden Mohawk type shit. He was dressed ready to go. He had the Uber coming.
Only Joe Madden didn't have $315 million waiting for him on the other side of this.
Well, is this fishy, or is it? You really think that team like it could? Was this the Boris camp pulling strings? Like, yeah, he's injured. Is this an inside trade? Because some Mets fans are being like, it's bullshit. He's not injured. He wanted to go to the Mets. Blah blah blah.
No, I don't. I mean, as the story goes, or at least what I've read about like the details of what actually went down. The Giants saw something in the medicals that they didn't like, and the report was that it was something with his ankle, which was an injury that predates his major league debut. So it had nothing to do with the back or whatever. Like the injuries that he's actually had as a big leaguer had nothing to do with that. It had to do with his ankle, and they were mulling it over. And then Boris went back to the Giants and was like, "Hey, we need an answer by 1 p.m. And if you can't give us an answer, then I'm taking him back to the market." And the Giants were like, "Okay, we agree to these terms. Like we'll let you know by 1." Then they reached out once again by like 1 p.m. said, "Hey, are you going to agree to the terms of our agreement?" And they said no. And they said, "Okay, fine." And then Boris picked up the phone, called Steve Cohen. He was on a beach in Hawaii, and he was like, "Hey, you still interested in Carlos Correa?" And he's like, "Yeah. How about $300 million? All right, sounds great. Boom, done. He's a Met." Like that's
my question
according
is,
to these reports. That's how it went down.
Have the Mets seen his ankle?
Well, no. So it's not official until they also
they gotta see the ankle. Holy
yeah, they've got to conduct a physical, so they'll see whatever the Giants saw. I guess there is a remote possibility that Carlos Correa to the Mets could also fall through, but I don't know what could possibly. I mean, Dallas, you would probably know better than us. If there's an injury from 2014, and we're talking about a position player, like, you know, I think if it were an elbow concern or a shoulder concern, like a labrum tear, where it's like it tore a little bit and it tore in 2014, so you're thinking, oh, 2023, that thing's gonna rip all the way at some point. You're going to have hesitations about a 13-year contract or a 10-plus-year contract. But if it's an ankle injury from 2014 and we're in 2023 almost, and he's never had any issue with the ankle, is that really something that should have torpedoed this deal? Or do you think the Giants, that this is the other theory that we haven't thrown out there, the theory that the Giants saw the blowback from the fans being like, you're going to give this guy 13 fucking years. Like, we were almost going to get Aaron Judge, and now you're pivoting to Carlos Correa, and you're going to give him all that money on a 13-year deal. Yeah. I think if there is some sort of like, you know, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, unspoken shenanigans going on, I don't think it's the Mets. I don't think it's Carlos Correa trying to wiggle out. I don't think it's the Mets trying to finagle their way in. I think it's the Giants that would have been like, oh, we just kind of saw a decent amount of blowback from our fans. And like, this is the largest contract in franchise history, and we're going to introduce this guy, and they're going to be pissed about it. Like, okay, all right, no, we saw the ankle. No, we don't like that.
Jared, it's called buyer's remorse. And you, as a recent home buyer, let's say you were awfully comfy in your home, which I know you're getting there. But let's say you come to find out that I had not already only been in your home, but I knew your Wi-Fi password. And let's say I'd been logging into each and every room in that house. You might think twice about getting comfy in those rooms. You might think twice about, like, you might be like, you know what? I
think it would be the comparison would be if I agreed, if I put in an offer on the house and then I brought my family and like my friends, if I was married and brought my wife there and everyone was like, this place fucking sucks, then I'd be like, oh, then I would find a way to back out on the deal.
Yeah. Well, ultimately you just don't have to buy it. But yes, that's now, see, because we know what has happened with the Angels, don't we? Ownership, there's going to be a transition, right?
You think the Giants want to pivot to Shohei?
If you have an opportunity to make the push for a star and you miss out on a guy like Judge, who had the local ties and blah, 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 had all that going for them, they were just up against the juggernaut that is Yankee legacy. Whether you like that or not, just be honest with yourself and know that your legacy as a Giant, if you're Aaron Judge, after spending the time he has in New York, is not what it is as a lifelong Yankee. Nobody is disagreeing with that. So from there, we haven't had that star. Buster, and I don't want to say since Buster because it's not like that was 15 years ago, but there were gaps between that, right? And it was a great run, 10, 12, 14. Beautiful. Love the whole even year story. Like it was great. But you gotta make a move. And when you have the opportunity to like kind of pan out and think about, all right, not aging shortstop, but when this deal is all said and done, this is what the deal looks like. This is how old he's going to be playing this position. Sure, you could pivot DH, blah, 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 blah. But maybe upon further review, they're like, you know what? We've got the opportunity right here, right now. If we want to make this our red flag, then fucking so be it. Are we all in on Shohei? Are we all in? Like, do we have the confidence that whatever happens with ownership in Anaheim, they're not going to secure their guy? Are we confident in that being the case? If so, let's pull those chips back. Let's do the unthinkable at the casino and pull those chips back.
You think that this is Shohei motivated? How high are you right now?
I don't. Why not? Why can't it be?
That's such a bad strategy,
think,
bro. If you know, Shohei's only going to go to a team who knows he's going to be a competitor.
Well, hey,
Like, if you're a team that's like, we're going to
the
get rid of all our
Giants could
players.
be a competitor, but like the Giants wouldn't. Like the Giants knew about Shohei being up at the end of the year and the Angels ownership situation before they tried to sign Carlos Correa. So I don't think that they had some sort of epiphany after
I'm
he
just putting
accepted
the fucking
their
tinfoil
offer.
hat on, man. Like I don't want. Like it's
We know. You do it a
it's
lot.
unthinkable.
Sometimes it hits. Sometimes you make sense. This time doesn't make sense. Hey, no one bats
Well,
1,000.
why doesn't
okay?
it make sense? Why doesn't it make sense? They
Why
need a fucking
it-
star.
because-
They haven't had that guy. They need a fucking organizational pillar,
But
Jared.
why
They just watched
would
Buster
they
retire. They know
pivot
Crawford's
after
on the way out.
making him
They
an
fucking
offer?
need
That doesn't make any
somebody.
sense.
I just
I'm
told
not saying
you
that they
why.
won't be in the. They'll be in the Shohei sweepstakes. I agree with you, but they didn't
Really?
back
Because
out
maybe-
of an accepted contract offer because of Shohei. They had all the
Because
same
maybe-
information beforehand.
I'm not saying it's like, oh, you know what? The light bulb just went on. Shohei is the reason. Shohei is the motivational fact. But maybe they had this, and not maybe. I know that organizations have these things. Like, look, if this is the flag, if we're talking body part, like we got to consider age, what that projects. Those algorithms are ran for sure.
Yeah.
So, and that's not to say like, oh, you know what? They have it set where if it's a lower body injury, ankle, blah, blah. But we're talking about, I posed this question and I said, let's say your team has 3 Gold Glove defenders. Where do you place them? Who are your Gold Glovers? And you guys, I'm a strong proponent of being strong up the middle. Catcher, shortstop, center field, like that's just tough to beat. It really is. There's a lot of nuance to that because at the Oakland Coliseum specifically, you've got 2 corner spots, blah, 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 blah. What I'm getting at is you need somebody that is going to be somebody that you can depend on. Who is Shohei? He's the guy who gives you an opportunity to look at him offensively and on the mound either way. But it's not just him personally motivated. It could be a matter of thinking, you know what? If this is our threshold and we got a light going off, we got a bell going off, let's see how, I don't know, are we in a, because was Correa a fit in that clubhouse? Was Correa the guy that they want shaping that
Didn't
culture?
sound like it. In Minnesota?
I mean, he fit.
I don't think he was a fit in Minnesota.
No, he fit great. Look, as far as fit goes, like there you can show up, have the work ethic, have those leadership qualities, but maybe not everybody's on board. And then you can show up and have everybody willing to take a bullet for you. I've never shared a clubhouse with Carlos Correa. I know guys.
I have. I have. And it sucked. It sucked. Fucking Colin McHugh was in there. That pussy.
He's a
Sorry,
good
you
Joe,
guy.
I
asked
know
to
he's
go
on
on
your
his
team now.
podcast.
He's a good guy.
No, I would never. I think one of the more understated narratives in all of this is the Giants signed Carlos Correa, or at least the announcement comes out. And I think the next day is when we find out about Carlos Rodon to the Yankees. And then the day after, Dansby Swanson to the Cubs. So, yeah, I don't know that they would have pivoted to Dansby. I don't know that that's something that they would have done. But they were still in on Rodon. And no offense to Sean Manaea. I mean, I love the guy and, the talent's definitely there. But signing Sean Manaea is not the same splash that bringing back Carlos Rodon would have been.
No.
Yeah, he did.
No.
But so now it's like you just allocated over $300 million to Carlos Correa and then found out that you're not getting Carlos Correa. And then the next best ways to spend that money, they're gone. They're gone during the time that you think you have Correa. And by the time you know that you don't have Correa, they're no longer options to pay. So I think that is a massive, like not ending up with Correa is a massive miss. But then also because you were locked into Correa, missing out on Rodon and potentially Dansby. Again, I don't know that they were even in on him at all. That kind of always felt like the Cubs were the move.
Conversations that it's like whispers.
They could have paid Rodon
about you being interested in Aaron Judge as strongly as you were, and being interested in Correa, or like needing start. Like everybody knows you missed Judge, so now you have to pivot to what is deemed the most valuable player left. And so
which would be Rodon or Dansby?
No, I'm talking about with Correa.
Oh,
because they go to Correa, they pivot to Correa, but I mean it's because Dansby gone, right? Rodon gone, so the dominoes are falling, and that's allowed other teams to have these conversations. That's allowed these other relationships to cultivate, because you're not putting all your eggs in these baskets, but you're investing a lot in these two areas, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel bad for Giants fans. Holy shit! I mean, what a roller coaster of an offseason.
Didn't you just say they all hated Correa, and that's the reason why they gave him up? Why do you feel bad for them? This is what they wanted.
Well, you had a John Heyman tweet saying Aaron Judge to San Francisco.
Right.
So Judge was a done deal. I mean, that was put out on Twitter by one of the core national reporters. And then that doesn't happen. Then you have Carlos Correa as a nice little consolation prize. And I don't really, I feel like I'm not going to say it was overwhelmingly in the boat of we don't want him or like we're concerned about the contract. There was a divide. Like I was getting tweets from Giants fans being like, explain to these idiots how like this isn't a bad contract, or like talk these people off the ledge. Like some Giants fans definitely felt good about it and they were excited. And then some Giants fans were like, he's not Aaron Judge. And this is a lot of money for a dude that's not out there every day.
All the homies back home, all of my homies, each and every one of my, except for one other dude, Uncle Chuck, they're all Giants fans. They're all Giants fans.
Were they out on the idea?
The majority of them, not into it. Some of them very passionately saying what I was saying, which is, you don't have a star and you want somebody to make a move. This is so they made this move. They missed out on Aaron Judge. You weren't able to woo him with the local tugging of the heartstrings. And so you got to pivot. You got to make a fucking move. But by the time you're in that spot, other people have made a move. So what are you going to do now? And if you're this organization who has had this certain, I don't want to say standard of culture, like Correa doesn't reach that, or he can't achieve that. But there's, like it or not, taint that comes along with that. And fans just don't forget that. As much as we might move on from that, fans don't. And they'll tell you that they pay to be able to hate somebody. They pay to be able to spew that vitriol. And that's what they do. So when you have the Madison
what do you like the most
Bumgarners,
about the taint?
What's that?
What do you like most about the taint?
Is that it's close, Jared. It's real close. It's right there. The taint. Yeah. Like some fans can still smell the taint. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's what gets them riled up. Is you get a waft of that taint, Jared, and that can really spin your day. That puts you in the spin cycle.
No doubt.
Get you ravenous.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what, and we've seen that fans have smelled
too
the
many
taint
times
when the Astros come into town, or maybe they come into town and smell the taint, and it gets aggressive. There's no other way to put it.
It really does.
I hate to be derogatory, but when you see fans that haven't been able to get a waft of the taint, finally get that first waft of the taint when it comes to Astros fans or Astros players, it's such a tired story, but it is what it is.
That's funny. I didn't even realize. The Giants, their last franchise megastar was Barry Bonds. They pivoted to another cheater.
Whoa!
What, like free agency? You mean?
Whoa!
I guess megastar. I mean, I don't want to. I wouldn't say mega.
Buster Posey.
Buster Posey was why the pivot?
Tim Lincecum
pivot to the cheater.
Tim Lincecum was
the cheater.
Tim Lincecum didn't cheat. Brian Wilson.
Brian Wilson walked red carpets.
Yeah.
Those were
Call
stars.
Brian Wilson.
Those were big stars.
Do you
And
think he
I
would answer,
apologize.
Dallas, if we called him right now?
No.
I don't know, dude. I feel like he'll answer. I don't know that he would answer a phone call from me, but he answers when I text him sometimes.
Then
I'm actually the last in our text exchange. He texted me last.
Ooh.
I don't know what we're talking about. The last thing, I don't know.
Big shot.
Our last conversation was about hand jobs.
sure.
Well,
I'm going to tell you right now,
Some things stay private.
you're probably not having that same conversation.
Today?
Yeah, not today.
Not today.
Not today.
That's too bad.
You tell me
Yeah.
that Brian Wilson doesn't even smoke anymore, dude. He betrayed
I mean,
you.
I can't confirm or deny
He's
that was the
buttoned
thing
up.
in the first place.
He
Yeah,
became
I
a
don't know.
square.
Oh, dude.
That's so not chill.
Yeah.
That is
Unchill.
not fucking
Unchill.
chill.
That is
Unchill.
chill. That is chill of these. I mean, these Giants fans. Speaking of chill,
About as chill as a blue moon during the holiday season.
on a tee, on a
Yeah.
fucking
Woo!
tee.
The NL East is over.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Oh shit! son.
I think by the time this podcast comes out on Nesson 360, I did an episode going to the Blue Moon Brewery in Denver, Colorado with Mike Timlin to tour both breweries.
You know
the
that shit was
Sandlot
born
Brewery.
in a ballpark. You aware of that?
Yes, it is. I was there. I was in there tasting all the beers. One of the most hardo moments in my life. They were telling me about, they do these like competitions where they give you like a big ass mug of beer and you have to hold it
just
out like
Probably
this.
just a pint. If you look at the size of your hands, it's probably just a pint. But go on.
No, it was like 24 ounces of beer, maybe more. And you have to hold it out like this. And then eventually everyone like, oh, my shoulder. I was like, dude, I can do this. And then I started balancing on one leg. And then I had a beer in my left hand. So I was drinking a beer with my left hand, balancing on one leg and still holding the beer out with my right arm. And I was like, I can literally do this. This is embarrassing. Like, we're going to waste so much time. Like, I'm just never going to, like, when I stop, it's because I chose to, not because I couldn't continue. So I did that inside the Sandlot Brewery in Denver, Colorado. The baseball season's over.
It's over.
But you can still feel that ballpark nostalgia with Blue Moon. In fact, Blue Moon was born in a ballpark at the Sandlot Brewery in Denver, Colorado.
Told
Blue
you.
Moon's one-of-a-kind beer experience isn't just for baseball season. It's also perfect for the holiday season, which is this weekend, Jake, right?
Yep, this weekend.
What'd you ask for Christmas, Jake?
I already didn't get it, so I don't want to talk about it.
It's not. It's
That's
not
fair.
Christmas. Oh, or are you talking? You talking about free? That's
Stop it. Stop.
Oh.
It's bold flavor, bright explosion of color, iconic orange slice ritual, and authentic ballpark roots will make your holidays unique and flavorful. I will be bringing a whole case of Blue Moons to Christmas this weekend. We're supposed to get a big storm Friday,
Oh,
but it's going to be rain. It's going to be rain. It's going to be rain. You can't rain out Christmas. You can definitely have like a blizzard that inconveniences you on Christmas, but I believe it's supposed to be rain. So we'll knock on wood and hope that it stays rain. From its refreshing flavor with Valencia orange peel for a subtle sweetness and hints of coriander. I got to see the coriander.
did you just smell it? Did you get waft?
Yeah.
Did you get a big waft of it?
Yeah. I still don't really know what coriander is, but I saw it.
Come on.
I got to
it's an
see the
herb.
whole, coriander. There was the coriander layer. Blue Moon Belgian style wheat ale is one of a kind beer that's made brighter. It's carefully crafted and full flavored with refreshing notes and a smooth, creamy finish. Why strike out with the same old beer when you can get something that's one of a kind? Best served with a signature orange garnish to showcase its beautiful hazy color. A beer this good only comes around once in a blue moon, but you can enjoy it all season long, all holiday season long. Enter for a chance to win an exclusive Blue Moon paper shoot camera to immortalize those unforgettable holiday moments. Make your holidays brighter than ever with Blue Moon. Get Blue Moon delivered and enter to win an exclusive paper shoot camera at get.bluemoonbeer.com/rocket. That is get.bluemoonbeer.com/rocket. Blue Moon, made brighter, celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Ale, no purchase necessary. Open to legal residents of 50 USDC, 21 plus only, begins 11/1/2022 and ends 12/31/2022. Includes 4 entry periods. For rules, visit bluemoonholiday.com. Void where prohibited. Message and data rates may apply. Okay. Ad free the rest of the show. We're locked in. On the Carlos Correa extravaganza, the things that happened in the past 24 hours, what part of the story sticks out to you the most? Is it Steve Cohen spending as much as he has with the luxury tax penalties? Is it the fact that the deal fell through? Is it the fact that Carlos Correa, this got so close to the finish line that Carlos Correa was dressed and ready to go for his San Francisco Giants press conference? Was it the fact that the San Francisco Giants have now missed on Aaron Judge, Carlos Correa, Carlos Rodon, and I guess you can throw Dansby in there, although I don't think that that's very fair, because by the way, I didn't get to say it yet. We have opened the voicemail lines for San Francisco Giants fans. They asked for it. Again, this is one of those things where this is by request of the fan base. I feel like if I were to just...
It was loud.
Yeah, it was loud. I didn't want to... I feel like I didn't want to exploit the fan base by being like, hey, call us because we want to hear your freakouts. But you get enough tweets from fans from certain fan bases, and we have no choice but to open up the line. So Jake opened up the voicemail lines, but I just wanted to get you guys' opinions, your takes here. What was the element of the Carlos Correa saga that stood out to you the most? Like, what is the big takeaway from all of this?
Well, I don't want to speak for, and when I say I'm a fan, but I work in baseball, work for a team. So I would want to hear, Joe's response first.
I mean, it's got to be the ankle, because that's where things get interesting. Little fishy.
That right there is where I was going to start, Joe, is I would say from a fan perspective, I want to know how this injury holds one team up, but allows another team to make this decision. And again, they're going to have to go through this same process. So let's say things work out, Cohen signs off on it, we're all good. That's the ultimate answer. So I was going to say that as well, but Joey, please continue.
Yeah, I mean the ankle. I don't think we got the full story on the ankle, and people have kind of been glossing over it. It's all about Steve Cohen. How could he? He's so rich. Mets are overpowered. But the ankle just seems weird. Like, why? Like, how do you agree to that much money in the first place? And they don't even know, or they don't figure that out until it's the guy already has his suit on. Like, how does it get to the last second? He's already in San Francisco before they even look at an X-ray.
Mm-hmm.
When did the X-ray take place?
Well,
when he got there.
If that's the case, it makes it feel like somebody dropped the ball along the way. Like, did a doctor not get to it in time? Saw it? Was it a 11th hour decision by the front office to say we mulled it over and it came down to the wire, and we just didn't feel like we could make that commitment based on what we saw, and we were going to need to revisit things? And by the time we got that opportunity, he had already had another offer in place, fielded it, committed to it, and we were out of the equation, like all within a matter of minutes, which, could be 30 minutes, an hour, who knows? But I think, honestly, if you're looking at it from a business perspective, that's where your mind goes initially, is what happened here. How does it get to that point? Like, because He was fucking dressed, ready to go be a Giant.
Yeah.
And he had lunch, and he was a Met.
Yes, he had lunch, man. A
He
full
had lunch.
fucking meal. They probably paid for it too. The Giants, man, paid for it, and they lied. They said, "Yeah, ankle's great."
Yeah, we love your ankle.
He's been doing.
There's nothing. You have the cutest little ankle.
I just hope
But
he
seriously,
starts
like
doing
when does that? What happened? What happened?
something? There's got to be some scumbag. There's a scumbag in the mix. Somebody fucked
Jake,
up.
book Scott Boras. Get him on. I want to talk. We've had him a couple of times. We've had Scott Boras on twice, 3 times, twice. I
We
think.
just we talked to him a lot.
Yeah, we need to get Scott back on. I'm just going to ask him point blank.
We need the doctors.
Let's get the
we need a
doctors.
doctor
Jake,
on.
can you get the
'Cause
doctors too? Let's do it like a group therapy podcast
and we
with
all
Scott
know
Boras,
that-
Carlos Correa.
And we all know that team doctors are notoriously open and honest, so
Yes.
shouldn't be an issue there.
Listen, I bet. San
And Carlos
Francisco
Correa
has
wants
the
to
best
come on the
doctors.
podcast. So, I mean, I feel like it won't be an issue to get him on.
We should test out his ankle. Get him in the studio. Get him out in Boston.
Just send him through a cone drill.
Just have him do
Yeah.
agility drills.
Just
We wanna
work the
see your
ladder a
ankle.
little, do some Bosu stabilization,
Mm.
and we'll be the judge of that.
I need an X-ray.
Yeah, sure.
They should make all this shit public.
I hate, like, honestly, from a player perspective, and again, fans, you can hate, blah, 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 Correa, fuck him, yeah, okay, whatever. Jared hates him, I get it. As a player, like,
I don't hate
Fuck,
him.
man.
I forgave him.
$300 million,
I forgave
and then it's gone. Like, and I can't believe that you think, so am I just never gonna make money again playing this game? Am I done? Like, I don't believe that is a thought that went through his head, but that's
No, I
got to
don't-
be
I don't think so
jarring.
either.
That's got to be a jarring feeling to have this deal in place and then get a phone call where Scott is telling you, "Hey, look, so things are not going to go through with San Francisco. All right. But we are pivoting. And I think we've got action here." We talked about
keep
New
in
York
mind
before.
Keep in mind, this was not Carlos Correa's first free agent destination. So the Minnesota Twins got the same medicals and were like, here's whatever deal he got. So there would have been another team out there that would have paid him. Like, I don't think that people would have been like, what the fuck is up with this dude's
Well,
ankle?
to Joey's point, this is from 2014. So this isn't something recent that teams haven't had access to. Should they get to a point where there's a potential transaction? So there's not a surprise here. It's just a matter of how impactful you see this being.
Yeah.
That's really
Well, then
No
that
matter-
makes me suspicious. That is it the ankle? Because I didn't hear it was an ankle until Jared said it.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't hear that either. What is that in? Who? That's in the article?
It's let's see. It is in the issue at hand, sources told Alex, was Carlos Correa's ankle/leg injury he suffered in 2014. Alex being he covers
Alex
the Giants for
Pavlovich?
NBC Sports. Yeah.
Yep. Alex Pavlovich.
Yeah. There was a difference of opinion over the results of Carlos's physical examination. After waiting years to make a splash in free agency, the Giants backed away at the last second. Yeah.
Yeah, that's man.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I'm going to
oh,
see if
man.
I can get more
could
information here.
Well, I was gonna say I could call Alex. But I would
Well,
have to
Correa
get
missed
one of
time
those.
early in his MLB career with a back injury. Multiple league sources said the Giants had concerns about an ankle injury he suffered while in the minor leagues. In 2014, when he was a 19-year-old prospect with the Houston Astros, Correa injured his leg on a slide into third base in a high A game. The Astros later announced that he underwent surgery on a fractured right fibula and a ligament. It's not unusual for old injuries to concern teams during physicals, but it's rare that deals aren't completed because of something seen during testing, and it's unprecedented for a deal of this magnitude to be shut down. The Giants have already scheduled a press conference and advertised tickets using Correa's image, saw enough that they felt the need to hit the pause button. Correa's team they had him on the season ticket brochure. Correa's team moved quickly after the Giants raised concerns, and by the end of the day Tuesday, he reportedly had a 12-year, $315 million contract with the Mets. While that deal is pending a physical, Mets owner Steve Cohen has been so open about it publicly that the team is unlikely to hit any bumps in the road.
Yeah. I mean, that's
from an injury and a ball.
Hey, the Mets were fine with it. Or he's saying the Twins are fine with it. We're fine with it. Keep it moving.
There's something sketch going on there with the Giants. And I don't know that we'll ever get the truth on that. But hey, if this is an injury from 2014, then there's no way.
Like now what you start to watch, if you got the tinfoil hat on, again, now what you start to watch is like look, if Shohei Ohtani becomes available and the Giants are as serious of a player for him as they were for Judge.
Ohtani! Segoy!
If they weren't as serious about it, then you got to scratch your head because everybody knows that you got the money now, right?
Well, I mean, listen, I've had an ankle myself, man, and I busted it up on the slopes about a year ago. And I tell you what, man, like these ankles, they like you're on it all day. So you hurt in 2014. Okay, you fix it up. You know what I'm saying? You wear and tear. Has he been doing his stretches? If they did an X-ray this week, maybe they saw some progress.
Maybe they're seeing, hey, you know what? The shift is gone. He's going to have to get back to covering a lot more ground. This ankle.
A lot of years to play shortstop.
A lot of years to play shortstop with no help, with no shifting. Like
how many 36-year-old shortstops you see in the league right now? Look around.
Not since Jeets when he was winning Gold Gloves at the age of 39.
Oh,
doesn't happen every day. They might say, like, look, they got Elvis Andrews out there, free agent. Why not take him?
Jose Iglesias still out there.
These are options.
People don't want to talk. Stopgap.
I mean, if you look at it now, there's a power. So there's a what is the word I'm looking for? The Giants, they're looking for that star player. They didn't get it. So there's a, what's it called? There's a hole and there's an opportunity in the Bay Area, the NorCal, to really seize the market right now. And I'm looking at the Oakland A's. And I'm thinking.
I mean, buddy, hey, we're
Ramon Laureano?
Laying at the laser. Laying in the weeds.
I mean, that's the only like recognizable player that you guys have left, right?
Dude, they just got Doolittle back, right?
Oh, I didn't see that.
No, they didn't get Doolittle back. They got the other one, right, Dustin May. Not yet, Mr. May.
They didn't get Dustin May. I don't know.
Not Dustin May. What the fuck, man?
Trevor
May. Yeah,
dude, franchise player.
Trevor May,
highest paid player.
Trevor May. No. A 1-year piece to go to the Oakland A's. That's big. That is big. Why did he do that, by the way? Why did he choose? Like, there had to have been another team that was interested in signing him. Why would he go to the Oakland A's?
Because what it is it's an opportunity to take over a role that proves your
Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself stretching to explain this.
No. This is simple. It's very simple. It's an easy answer.
Okay. Tell me.
You're able to prove that you're responsible enough to take care of these high leverage situations and teams. Well, I mean, look, this is just being honest. If you know you're in a rebuild mode or a retooling mode, however you see it, if you're the A's, you know that veterans eventually probably end up becoming somebody that can bring you younger players, younger potential. And if you're Trevor May, and I'm not speaking for him, but when you think about his representation, trying
Trevor
to
May will be a
maximize his
Dodger
opportunity,
by fucking July 17th.
so then you don't ask the question. You know why? What the fuck are we doing here? You're making me do jumping.
So Trevor May,
I can do jumping jacks. Don't make me do jumping jacks.
Trevor May is signed with the Oakland A's because they don't have anyone else, so he can be in high leverage situations, stand out,
but
and then ultimately
be guys
be
down there
flipped.
that are not afraid to fucking take the ball in the ninth inning and just spin the fuck out of that thing.
Yeah.
Throw a fastball here and there. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of young
Green
guys
goal, baby.
who are tickling the top of the fucking list when it comes to appearances, leading rookies in appearances. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look out for the A's this year.
No,
Not a lot of people are talking about it. No, that's my take. That's my take.
Right now. Not a lot of people are talking about it. My take is we are.
Yeah, we are.
This
podcast right now is we're talking about the A's as being a potential threat.
I'm telling you what veteran presence does. Stabilizes what is going to be a strength of the team, Jared.
Fuck yeah.
You need a veteran
and the other thing too, Dallas. Dallas.
It's gonna
there's
be
still
made.
2 months. There's still 2 months left in the offseason. Like we don't know that the A's aren't going to go out there and make a huge splash.
You think we're done cooking?
No, I don't think so at all. Yeah, the Oakland A's never rest.
Don't sleep.
The Oakland A's never rest. So, you know what? You know what sucks is when you're mean about the Red Sox, and then I just retaliate by being mean about the A's, and A's fans don't get what I'm doing, so they get mad at me. And I'm like, bro, I don't actually have anything against the A's. I just need to hurt Dallas's feelings. They don't get it.
And I was, you know what? Speaking of the Red Sox, Jared, I was actually at
I didn't want to. Yeah.
No, we're not. I'm not gonna. Sorry, this is a Dodger story.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. There's a store in the mall called
the
Dodgers.
Mookie Betts.
The Dodgers clubhouse, and I was gonna swing by because I figured JD, Mookie, I'd be able to, hey, but it wasn't. I was duped.
Mm-hmm.
I was duped. It wasn't the Dodgers clubhouse. JD, Mookie, not there. So, but I was going to take a picture and send it to you.
Thanks.
I was going to tweet it.
We were supposed to do a Christmas special for the Name Redacted pod this week. There's going to be nothing jolly about that episode. I have a lot of things I have to say about that.
That's a tough look. It's. I'm sorry. I hate to keep beating the same old drum, but
yeah, don't do it.
What's happening is I've told you, like, hey, like you're in quicksand, and I'm like, dude, don't fight it. Don't fight it. And the whole time you're like,
by the way, quicksand is not how it is in the movies, by the way. Did you know that?
Don't fight it.
Yeah, it is.
What do you mean? Yeah,
no, it's not. Quicksand is not how it is in the movies. If you're not gonna sink, you're not gonna drown in quicksand. You'll probably it'll go up to your belt, and then you just.
Who told you this?
Yeah.
They proved it. You will.
Who proved it?
They did a test. Science.
Who's they?
You don't believe in science? You telling me you don't believe in science?
Yeah, what? You don't believe in science?
That's weird.
No.
Yeah,
how many people die in quicksand? I'm gonna Google it right now. How many people
I'm gonna say 10 a year for sure.
Quicksand a year.
Well,
what are your guesses? Joe, what are your guesses?
And people die a year. I mean, with the advanced technology we have today, probably about 25 a year.
I'm going to say at least 10.
But we really should be counting animals because they count.
No, I mean, animals are people too, but we can't count them as far, it's just a strictly Homo erectus.
Okay. How many people die worldwide on a yearly basis because of quicksand? The answer? None. That is
what? I don't believe that.
Nobody dies by being sucked down into quicksand because quicksand doesn't work that way. Its density is higher than your body's, so you could only sink so far. Quicksand swallowing you up only happens in old Hollywood movies.
That's hilarious. I've seen multiple people die. I've seen multiple people die.
Joey, don't buy into Jared reading anything. That was just him making that statement. He didn't read anything.
Dude, you guys just learned something today from me, and now you're lashing out because you thought you knew, but now you know because I told you.
So Joey, confirmed, we are correct.
I've seen people die, man, on quicksand.
I've seen people die.
Joey has caught them fucking quick bodies.
I saw. I didn't help because it's shit sketchy. It's just like the movies.
I mean, you don't want to get drug in. Like, is that's where you just kind of gotta. Oh man, such a dilemma. Like, do you stick around? Do you stick around? I don't want to. Like, I'm gonna be honest.
How mad are you guys that you're wrong? How mad are you guys?
We're not. No, we're not wrong. We're absolutely right. Here's my question though. I'm going to find out a lot about you guys right now. All right. If I am in quicksand, Jake, if I am in quicksand, are you trying to like get a stick? I'm not asking you to get your foot in there because clearly I know where that leads. Right. So I couldn't consciously ask you to stick your foot in there, but like a fucking stick.
Are you asking me if I would save you if you were in quicksand?
No.
Would I risk my life to save you?
Would you make that effort, or would you like walk away knowing like I can't watch this? Like he's gonna, and I gotta go. Like I can't do the eye contact thing, like the whole Titanic. Like, oh no, fucking Dallas, don't go. Like I can't do that. Like, so do you throw me a log, a branch? Like, do you cut a weeping willow down to try to lend me a limb, or are you gone? Because you're like,
I mean, it sounds like I could walk right in there and just grab you because it's really no big deal.
That's what I would do. I FaceTime Jared and look at this, you fucking bitch. It's happening.
Yeah.
You said it wouldn't happen.
Look what's happening.
I read it online. It says right here. Just don't like the boobies.
You can't die in quicksand. I don't know why you guys are so mad about the fact that you can survive if this were to happen.
So Joey's FaceTiming you, Jared, and telling you to fuck off because I'm dying.
While you're dying.
He's dying while I'm dying. And I'm like, Joe. And he's like, no, I'm proving a point here. Like, you remember him telling us that this couldn't happen, right? Well, and Dallas, I'm sorry, but you're the fucking martyr here, pal. That's how it's going to go. So you
have to die to prove this point.
Yeah.
You cannot survive if we really want to prove the point.
Right. Joey, the kid that was definitely burying cats up to their necks and running them over with lawnmowers. Definitely Joey.
That's a crazy accusation.
So Jared, despite all of the logging in, despite multiple meals with Sweet Ellen, are you lending a limb, or are you just walking away?
I would just walk right up to you and pick you up like a little baby and then carry you back to land.
You both are delusional. Jake, when Jake said it,
it's crazy that you think
Jake sounded super strong, like he was just trudging through the sand and was gonna fucking nab me up. I was super confident in Jake. Like I don't feel like you're slugging through that stuff. I feel like the lack of leg days
depends on what kind of sneakers I'm wearing.
All right.
I'd take my sneakers off first, and then I would just walk up to you. It's like you're literally saying, "What if I'm drowning in the kiddie pool? Would you come save me?" And be like, "You can save yourself, dude.
Stand up." All right. You're wrong, and Joey and I know you're wrong, but it's good to know where I stand.
No, Jake, if we could try and track down like a quicksand expert to come on the podcast next week, I'd be very into that. Who would be the person that we could ask about this? Who would know?
Has anybody ever survived like a quicksand incident?
Everyone. No, not one person has died from quicksand.
Nobody.
Not one.
That's the thing, Jared. That's why the interview is going to be impossible to track down. No survivors.
No, I mean, like we need to talk to a quicksand survivor, and then they're just going to be like, yeah, no, it wasn't, like nothing really happened.
Is it like an avalanche? They tell you to like swim laterally, you know? And just hopefully you kind of...
No, you just fucking get up. Quicksand does exist, but it is very rare. It is often used as a way to scare kids from trespassing. Should you truly encounter it, treat it as a vicious water. Quicksand is water slowly flowing through sand or fine clay that would be dry enough to dance on in a drought. Kick your feet slowly. Raise your body to the surface, floating on your back. Do the backstroke slowly until you have firm ground.
Oh, so it's not just get up. They want you to be fucking Flipper. They want you to turn into a fucking orca and breach quicksand. Just all the way up this body. I mean, that's a... See? You're not just stepping up out of this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of dangerous information to just say it live on the air to a big audience. Yeah, I can't kill you. Just go in there.
Yeah, don't. For the folks, listen, please do not just venture into quicksand. It's not like there's no lifeguard on duty. Don't do that. Unless you feel like you're part orca. Tough stuff.
Mm-hmm. How about some voicemails from San Francisco Giants fans?
Please. I need it. I need to hear their pain. I want their pain to be heard, I should say. Because I'm not against them. I'm not against them. As much as they think I'm against them, I'm not against them.
That's not true. That's not true at all.
It's true. 100% true.
Jake?
Fuck my life. Fucking sport. Fuck it. Shoot me in the dick and cut my legs off. Roll me out into a fucking field somewhere under an oak tree. Give me a shotgun and let me fucking do myself in. Fuck this team.
I mean,
what did he say? Did he say shoot me in the dick and cut my legs off?
That's what he said.
Shoot me in the dick and cut my legs off.
That's a lot of dismemberment, man.
He planned on still being alive after that. No, he was like, shoot me in the dick and cut my legs off, then roll me out in the field with a shotgun and blow my brains out.
Yeah. So, I mean, he wasn't hanging around for long, metaphorically. And that's unfortunate.
He wanted to wear it for a bit, though.
Yeah. No, he felt all the pain, for sure. All the pain. Mm-hmm. And again, Jared, this is very reflective of what a large portion of my friends, this is how they feel. Like die hard. I'm talking giant tattoos, like SFG, like for sure. Golden Gate tattoos, like Bay all day, like yes.
Okay. Jake?
Hey, so I just want to really just describe how I'm feeling.
Please do.
I currently want to put my head in a jar of pickle juice and drown myself in it. I just don't understand why Arson Judge had to go and then Correa too, and I just don't see any reason to live at this point. I wish we could go back to the 3 out of 5 World Series titles and that energy surrounding those years, but by the looks of it, seems like it's going to be a while. And I think I'm just going to go commit suicide now. See ya.
Jesus.
That's strong. Bastard. It's aggressive. We obviously don't need anybody unaliving themselves, but I mean, again, echoing what many fans feel. And I know it's not just the lack of the players. They're starting to take shots and take aim at the front office, which you understand.
I mean, not to bring my team into this.
Oh,
but
you're more than willing.
The Giants just had a 107 win season And then they had guys like there's turnover.
Everyone saw
there.
that coming, Jared. Stop it. Everyone saw that
But there's turnover there. Like, you know, I feel like with the San Francisco Giants, it's not like they had like Buster Posey in his prime walk to the St. Louis Cardinals or something like that. It just, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm not saying that they don't have a right to be upset with the way that this particular offseason has gone. I'm more talking about the lack of faith in the front office.
Look, right. And that's the one thing about the Giants' success that season. 107 franchise record. Like nobody saw that coming.
A lot of people
you
did.
were treated.
You just didn't want to believe it. You didn't buy in on it.
Yeah, you were treated to a beautiful exit from Buster and Crawford, and like not an exit from Crawford.
I'm not mad at the front office. I mean,
no.
Maybe I want to know the whole truth on the fucking ankle. I hate to keep going back to the ankle. It's not the San Francisco Giants front office fault that Aaron Judge played them to leverage more money out of the New York Yankees. That's not your front office's fault. And with the Carlos Correa thing, maybe they did kind of cave to the fan. I don't want to say backlash because I don't think it was like that. But I think that there was a little bit of like, you know, I think that they wanted the reaction to be like, fuck yeah, let's go. We're back to try. And it was more like, oh, I don't know. Like, what the hell are we doing? Is this really what we should be doing with this money? Like, you know, it was more like that. And maybe they just caved to that. Like they wanted more of a universal approval. It does sound crazy, but what other explanation could there possibly be?
He had a swollen ankle, man. His ankle sucks. You're never hurt your ankle like me. You don't get it.
That's true, dude.
And if you don't stretch it properly, like this kind of stuff can happen. And if you're gonna sign a guy for a long time, you want a good ankle. You know what I'm saying? Like especially a shortstop.
It's tough. It's the heartbreak comes from not having a replacement because the Giants fans have been treated to multiple like organizational pillars, right?
Yeah.
Multiple.
That's what they're about. They're about
for sure.
That's a good point. They're an organization that has guys and they keep guys.
And they don't have one for the future. They all know that Crawford's clock is ticking, right? Like they all know, and everybody understands that. So they're looking towards the future.
You're not a Bart guy?
Well, Bart is not, because Bart has been up, been down, tried to figure some things out.
He's got big shoes to fill as well.
Oh, those shoes. He's trying to literally fill the shoes of an owner.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So they're coming after
Buster Posey owns the team now.
We can blame him for not pulling the trigger.
That's true.
You know,
that baby Joe.
That's true.
Start firing those fucking arrows, right? Why not now?
Because he's like, oh, I'm the Giants' best player ever. We can't have another star come in and be cooler than me.
Is this Joey's tinfoil hat theory? Buster Posey railroaded the Correa deal because he didn't want to see another guy come in and step in and be that
because
guy.
Because of 2010?
Yeah, he's like, I can't see that happening.
Yeah.
Did the Giants go through the Phillies in 2010?
All roads lead through Philly, brother. No way the Giants can beat the Phillies. No, I mean the Phillies. There's no way. There's no way the Giants can beat the Phillies. At the bank?
No, dude.
At the bank. Yeah. So Giants fans, hang in there, man. Hang in there. It's tough.
Next one?
Like, I don't know. I mean, there's whispers now, like the pivot to Michael Conforto. And what's interesting is, guess who Michael Conforto's agent is?
Scott Boras.
Scott Boras.
Oh, yeah, they did. The Giants did go through Philly to get to the World Series. I forgot about that NLCS entirely. But
that would be funny if they didn't get Correa because of injury concerns and they just scooped up.
Oh, you know what?
The king of
Dallas. Guess who they beat before they beat the Phillies?
What are you talking about?
Mets.
The 2010 postseason.
Uh-huh.
Who did the San Francisco Giants beat the Philadelphia Phillies, one of Joe's teams, to get to the World Series? Who did they beat to get to the NLCS?
Couldn't have been the Braves. Impossible.
It was the Braves.
Couldn't be them. Never happened.
I'm trying to think of who was on the team.
Brooks Conrad was on the team.
Yeah, I was gonna say Chip. Was that the fly ball?
No, that was the pop fly. Brooks Conrad. He made 3 errors.
Brooksy's a teammate of mine. Love me some Brooks Conrad.
Yeah,
Love me some Brooks Conrad.
He had a tough series in the field.
The 2010 clincher in Arlington, Texas, between the San Francisco Giants and the Texas Rangers. Dallas, we were in the same building that night together.
We were.
You know what's funny about Brooks Conrad in that game? Now we're going back to it. Some funny knowledge. He made 3 errors and gave up the tying and winning run. I don't like to harp on things like that. You know, it could happen to anybody.
Sounds like
but it's an interesting story. Like the story how you make a mistake at the wrong time. It can the next day. It has a good gesture. They had him catch the first pitch.
Yep.
Game 5, and he dropped it.
No way.
I swear to God.
Joey.
Damn.
I swear to God.
That's brutal.
You're a fucking dick.
Why?
What a dick. Do you feel better? You feel better now?
No, I'm just saying, like, this is a crazy event.
Bro, there's probably, was it a day game? Probably day game. Reflection.
It could have been a bad pitch. Probably a bad pitch.
It was probably a terrible throw. Let's be real.
Was it you or another baseball YouTuber that did a video talking about like win probability added in the postseason, and like Brooks Conrad had like the worst of all time in a playoff game?
Yeah, he had one of the worst.
Was that you?
Yeah.
What was the video?
How one play can ruin your entire life.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Wow. Gee.
I mean, it wasn't just Brooks Conrad that was the subject of the video, but it was, I know he was featured in it.
Listen, I came at it from a sympathetic view. I said, let these guys off the hook. I mean, freaking made a mistake. If you make a mistake in the worst time possible, you get scapegoated. There's tons of examples.
I can respect. So let me ask you guys this though: is Michael Conforto is that a pivot?
No.
Because or do the Giants now just need to take a little personal, take a breather, regroup, and somehow communicate to their fan base what the plan is?
There's no plan. There's no pivot. Like the best free agents are off the market. Like now it's time to put on our tinfoil hats and wait for Shohei to become a free agent, or maybe trade for him at the deadline. That's the next play. You can't be like, all right, guys, sorry we missed on Aaron Judge and Carlos Correa, but we did get Michael Conforto. Like, woo! Like, there's no way that's going to be in that market at least.
It's weird that like this whole thing about the Giants is like people are like, why don't they get this player? It's like the Giants aren't one player away from being contenders.
Correct.
No, people are so dead set and like,
that needs to be noted.
They fucked up by not getting Judge.
No, but stars attract. I don't want to say stars attract stars, but stars do attract talent. Like if you had an Aaron Judge in place, I think that there would be other guys that if they were sifting through 3 different similar offers, be like, yeah, I kind of want to go play with Aaron Judge. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Look,
and that's the only way you're going to get Shohei.
Well, that's what stars do. What stars do are allow you to account for 2 positions or 1.5 positions early on. And that's their primary position. And maybe you're lucky enough where, you got a guy like Judge who can obviously cover center field, but you can stick him in a corner and know that he's going to be just fine. But the DH is also available. Correa, it's not like he's going to play anywhere else. Oh, he's headed to third base. So it's third base, DH. Now, that's what stars do. And if you don't have somebody that you can like build around over the next decade, which is what these contracts are now, and there's a lot of whisper about these contracts, like, is this a way to circumvent the tax? Right? Did
you almost go circumcise there?
No, circumvent. No,
you paused at circum, and I didn't know if you were searching your brain for the word.
I know words. The tax is circumcised.
Yeah, absolutely. The tax is, well, in some cases, the tax is supersized, and in some cases, the tax is circumcised. And for better or worse, teams would like to circumcise the tax. Most of them, anyway. So that's part of the whole lengthy blah, 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 blah. Anyway, that's another conversation now. They had to replace a star. Stars allow you some flexibility. They don't have that, and maybe they feel like without that, they're a ship without a rudder. Because these fans are used to, because this is the hard pill for Giants fans to swallow now, is you've been chirping, and justifiably so. You win 3 in a decade. I get it. I'm not taking anything away from you at all. Ton of respect. But that energy, you got to maintain, because it's been a lot of big dick energy from Giants fans for a long time. And now you feel like you don't have many reasons to have that same kind of energy. That's tough. That's tough. You can't walk around with your chest out the way you have been, because you've always been little brother, so to speak, in the Dodger-Giant rivalry, at least recently. Ugh.
Jake, how about a voicemail?
Another offseason watching this pinto bean looking guy try to get players to come to San Francisco, a proud franchise with one of the greatest ballparks in the league, and another huge stinking whiff. All the money in the world. Who do we get? Mitch Haniger. Hey, we got him. Sean Manaea.
I forgot about that.
Look out, Ross Stripling. It's great.
Local guy.
So excited to watch Ross Stripling throw 5 innings and give it up to God knows who in the bullpen.
It's a quality start.
What was once a proud franchise is now the laughing stock of the league. And the only significance we have is our manager, who's at some vegan tea shop right now with his rose hand tattoo, who Rodon probably wanted to punch in the face at the end. Another player we couldn't find. And we lose Correa because of some mystery back issue when Stevie Cohen comes in and swoops on us. It's rough. I now know what an A's fan feels like. And it sucks.
Ooh.
It sucks.
What the fuck?
Later. I mean, oh man, everyone was catching strays in that one. The A's caught some. Gabe Kapler's fucking weirdo diet and his hand tattoo. Yeah, that was tough.
I will say it's worse than the A's, because like at least the A's, they have their best players. They get like prospects back. These guys that you never even had these players.
No.
They're crying about people they never had.
I mean, look, buddy, Correa was like 1 foot in the limo on the way to the presser. And they're like, maybe you should swing by and get coffee and we'll text you.
I mean,
Guess what? You're a Met. What?
I wonder how many Correa jerseys they printed.
Have been sold?
That's
what somebody was. I think I saw somewhere there's a Carlos Correa Giants jersey that was made up, ready to be worn today.
For the press conference, yeah.
Yes. Somewhere.
Poor Ross Stripling, too. Good guy. We had him on the old show, right? Yeah.
Old chicken strip, yep.
Yeah, I believe we did. Jake, how many total voicemails did we get from Giants fans?
Probably like 500.
All right, let's get another one.
Hey, man, I've been a Giants fan my whole life. I was wanting Carlos Correa with the team, but maybe it's a blessing in disguise. You know, he wasn't all that healthy with the Astros. So, you know, maybe paying him all that money and giving him the years that he would have wanted, maybe it's going to backfire on New York and not us. You know, maybe we got the good end of it. You know, hopefully we can try to sign somebody else and find our franchise player. But other than that, you know, Carlos Correa, you know, hasn't been healthy for these past couple of years. You know, he had his last good, healthy season back in Houston, which was 2021, which was his contract year. But other than that, Carlos Correa, I mean, he's been really inconsistent as far as his health. He's a great player, don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, it all matters about how you play on the field, if you can, you know, keep your body healthy, and, you know, we'll see. You know, best of luck to him in New York, but at the end of the day, go Giants.
That's a classy call. And that reminds me of the point that I wanted to make earlier. If you're a Giants fan listening to this, which I'm assuming some of you probably, it still is too painful to listen to any Giants talk right now, but we're here to help you. The one point that I wanted to make earlier, the butterfly effect is a real thing. And this is probably the closest, I guess, example since the A-Rod trade. The Texas Rangers were trading Alex Rodriguez to the Boston Red Sox for Manny Ramirez and John Lester, the left-handed pitching prospect by the name of John Lester. And then Nomar was going to the White Sox for Maglio Ordonez. And then that deal ended up falling through entirely. He ends up going to the Yankees.
Breaking news.
James McCann has been traded from the New York Mets to the Baltimore Orioles. Jeff Passan all over it. James McCann, which, by the way, Mets fans fucking couldn't stand this guy. Lucas Giolito loved working with him. I don't know. Like, he sung his praises in Chicago, and then he went to the Mets, and Mets fans were like, get this fucking guy out of here.
Yeah, it's I mean, Steve Cohen, what was Mac do? What's his deal?
That's a good question. I can find that out right now. For a player to be named later, this isn't even like a big deal.
Adley Rushman. You're Matt.
James McCann was under contract for the next 2 years at $12 million per.
So 25 mil.
Yep. Interesting. Okay. Jake, another voicemail, please.
On behalf of all Dodger Nation, I just want to say to Giants Nation out there.
That's mean.
Oh, that hurts. That's a dagger.
Damn.
Giants fans, I wish I could have told you earmuffs. I didn't know that was coming.
That was mean. I did not pre-listen to these, so I didn't know that was in there. However, this individual did tweet me before the show and said that he was so loud on his call that his dog started barking. So that must have been the call.
That hurts.
Do names pop up on these, Jake? How does this work? Can you see like their names?
I can just see their phone number.
Okay. So I was going to say, while we were recording, someone DM'd me on Instagram and was like, you need to open up the phone lines. And I gave him the phone line. So I want to make sure that he gets on. But if we don't know, I don't know his number. How about another one?
Hey, I'm calling Giants fan here, longtime Giants fan. I gotta say, this is a long con by Farhan, whatever. Doesn't matter.
dude, that guy came from the Dodgers and the A's, and he knows exactly what he's doing to F us over. It's insane. It is insane. That guy, I can't stand it. The only icing on the cake is we re-signed Brandon Belt. I'm done. I'm done. I don't know what else to do. You know what? There's a cliff. I'm about to jump. Might as well.
Jeez.
I don't know, Dallas. It sounds to me like these Giants fans are upset that this deal didn't happen. Maybe you should have told your friends to fucking call in and leave a voicemail so we had another side to the perspective here.
So let's go back to the dude before this last voicemail. What I took away from his whole spiel was
the Dodger fan.
No, not the Dodger. Oh, sorry, the guy before him, not the maniacal Dodger fan, just pissing in the faces of the Giants. The guy who was like, "Yo, we don't, so we miss out on the franchise player." Like, that's the vibe.
Yeah,
that's the vibe.
Yeah,
and that's what I've been saying this whole time.
Like maybe this is gonna blow up on the Mets. Yeah,
right. So,
which is why I brought up the A-Rod thing, because A-Rod to Boston was a done deal, agreed upon. They had the only reason why it fell through is because they were restructuring his contract to come to the Red Sox. And then Major League Baseball was like, you can't do that because this guy has the biggest contract in baseball. Like, we're trying to move the market forward here to set the precedent for guys that come after him. So we're not doing that. So the deal falls through. He goes to the Yankees, and the rest is history. The Red Sox win the World Series. The Yankees don't. So maybe if you're the Giants, that's the silver lining, is that Correa doesn't live up to that contract, or there is issues with whatever. And
it has to be. And that's where, like, the level of interest in a guy like Conforto, and it sucks maybe to feel like he's catching strays here, but like, do you commit to that? And if you see the lack of commitment there, then that's, again, where the tinfoil hat comes on, and you start to think as a fan base, all right, what's the next big move? And so naturally, you start to look at what the free agent market is going to look like next year. Shohei.
Well, sounds like if they don't get Shohei, they need to shut down the franchise. Jake, the next voicemail, please.
Woke up today, and I think I would rather be an Oakland A's fan. At least Dallas's franchise knows that they're a poverty franchise. Instead of acting like they aren't. They have to now talk us into Mania and Mitch Haniger being the face of the franchise in an offseason where it was Judge or bust, and then it was, we got Correa, fuck Farhan. Send him off. Give him to the fucking A.
Damn.
This is ridiculous. Fuck this team.
This is
still going.
This is everything.
That's tough. I mean,
this is everything I've been saying. Everything I've been saying.
They're mad.
They're angry. It's because they don't have their franchise guy. It was we'd love to have Judge. Great. Okay, we'll take Correa because he's not a bad player. Whether we like him or not, for 13 years, we can fucking learn to love him. And okay, so he's gone. Well, in the meantime, any other sort of option is gone. Well, what are we doing? And that's where they're at. That's where they're at.
It's too bad.
It's tough.
Are you going to blame Farhan for this though, or is this? I feel like this is probably more.
Well, this is
ownership.
So you got to ask: is it a matter of a financial gap? Is that what's held them back from being competitive? Doesn't seem like it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if it's not a financial hurdle, then that, I don't want to say absolves ownership. But if you're going to fire arrows as a fan and you've been financially competitive, then where do you aim your arrows? Because you've got to gripe with somebody as to why you're not landing people. And if you're financially competitive, then you want answers as to why you haven't been able to attain the brass ring. Why haven't we been able to land them? What is going on?
Maybe I just misread the situation. Jake?
Honestly, the whole what are we doing in San Francisco? What is Farhan doing? What has Farhan actually brought to the Giants? What is he doing? It's fucking pathetic.
Is that it?
He just had to get that off his chest.
He looks like a pinto bean. I mean, I get it.
What is that? What that was about? Like, I don't.
That's what he looks like.
Yeah, those are wild.
I don't even understand.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah, I mean Dallas. That's your boy, right? Can you get him on here to answer for these crimes?
You know, what's funny is I'll probably see him sooner rather than later. Just for some stuff that we do for NBC. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine that his phone has probably been buzzing.
Yeah.
Because what was the Giants' statement? Like we need to do that. Read the official statement from the Giants.
Okay. Like, get that right now for you.
Because you can get
Giants.
all of the feedback. You can get all the rumors. You can get this is what the Giants had to say in response to not having landed Carlos Correa and finding out the New York Mets
Here it is.
now have Carlos Correa.
San Francisco Giants released this statement from Farhan Zaidi. Quote, "Well, we are prohibited from disclosing confidential medical information," as Scott Boras stated publicly. "There was a difference of opinion over the results of Carlos's physical examination. We wish Carlos the best." That's it.
That's what we saw and what you think we're seeing are two very different things. And we can't even have this conversation anymore.
Yeah.
And that's why fans are like,
the Mets are paying $19 million of the remaining $24 million in James McCann's contract. They just gave him away. They're like, we're going to pay you. The Mets can literally do whatever they want. So not only do they have a $500 million payroll, but now they're contributing to other teams' payrolls.
Yeah, they still can't win the NL East.
Damn.
That's what they can't do.
Well, they're sure gearing up to do so.
They're going to try their best.
They've bought themselves a window.
Yeah, I mean, they they got a window. But
and they're
you know
looking
what?
to just set apple pie after apple pie on that window sill, Joey. Mm-hmm.
How about another voicemail?
Poor Giants.
Jared, this is Ryan. I'm a huge San Francisco Giants fan. I live in SF. Okay, so Aaron Judge. No San Francisco Giants fans thought we were getting Aaron Judge. Like, I was always singing New York, so no one believed the arson Judge nonsense for a moment. Carlos Correa. Okay, like, I'm not going to get into the 2017 Astros, team nonsense.
You just did.
But yeah,
Yep.
having him would have been nice, but ultimately the Giants had a chance to get him. He didn't pass the physical. So, we can't get mad at the team yet until we know more about that. And ultimately, I think for all Giants fans is we're really going for Shohei Ohtani, and now we could pay him like $50 million a year, and that's the guy we want in the clubhouse.
There you go. So everything that guy just said pointed towards Carlos Correa not being fit for the culture and them wanting to stockpile to land Shohei Ohtani, not only because he's a talent, but he's a guy that he'd like in the clubhouse. He is going to be the dude who just does things every day that you're like, human beings can't do that. How the fuck
he's like one of the rare, like, coming to know players throughout the league. You know that, like, you'd like to think when you're a kid, you'd like to think that all these dudes do is baseball and like that's all they care about and that's their whole life. They have plenty on their plate outside of baseball. I don't know if that's the case for Shohei. So being like, hey, lead by example, right? Like having like a lead by example with Shohei, it's like, so you're saying I can't have like a family, like I can't like play video games, like I can't have any interests or hobbies or whatever. Like Shohei is just fucking baseball. Like that is it.
Like we don't need to turn it into a Shohei blowfest. I'm more than willing to, but like you can hear it in the Giants fan voice. They need a guy. They need a pillar. They know Shohei fits.
Well, I will say this guy who, great call. If you were like, oh, there's no way we're going to get Aaron Judge, that was bullcrap. Like, why do you think you can get Shohei?
Apples and oranges. Like Shohei, I think genuinely, what I was literally about to say before you said that was the thing that I'm most excited about the Shohei sweepstakes is that I genuinely don't know where he's going to end up. Like I would probably err towards the Western coast, but even then, I can't say that for sure. But with Judge, we knew it was going to be the Yankees or the Giants, and we knew that he had a preference for the Yankees. So there was no real excitement there. I think the Giants had a chance, but with Shohei, I genuinely don't know like what he would possibly be leaning towards. Like what is he looking for this time around? Does he value money?
Well, right. Let's go proximity to home. How far is it from New York to
I already
Japan?
had that take. See, that's what I said. Like my take was the players that come from Japan to play in Major League Baseball, and all we hear about is, well, they want to play in Seattle or they want to play on the West Coast because it's closer to Japan. How many fucking players from Japan are just taking a weekend off to go back to Japan to like hang out with the family? Like, why does it matter geographically? Like at the end of the year, like what if your schedule finishes in Boston? It's like, okay,
it's about
you
the
still have to fly.
It's about the convenience
for your family
of your
to get
camp
back.
Operating. Yes, getting back and forth. If you have like culturally, you got to understand, dude. Like, you know, the elderly are revered in the Japanese culture, in Asian culture in general.
Yeah.
In our culture, we shit on old people for whatever reason, and it's disgusting. But that's not how it goes everywhere in the world. So you absolutely break your back to take care of your family. And Shohei Ohtani, by all accounts, is
does his family live in the States or no?
I couldn't assume one way or the other. I would believe that his wife or his girlfriend or significant other, whatever, is
he didn't have one.
That's the thing. Like I don't know. We like as a society, as a baseball community, we don't really know shit about the guy other than he's amazing at baseball.
Oh, dude, you don't become the best player in the world of history by fucking talking to girls. That's
yeah.
So his family, though, but that's a thing. Like we want to, hey. Do we want to be close? Do we want to make sure that?
I guess, yeah. But the Shohei sweepstakes are going to be fascinating because
I think it's obvious where he's going. No offense to anybody else.
The Dodgers?
It's the Dodgers. It's LA.
Maybe.
Why they haven't spent shit, dude? They're saving up.
They're just telling him like,
it would make a lot of sense, dude.
It
would make a lot of sense.
We're going to offer you the best package possible. You can stay in LA, have all the comforts of what you got going on. I mean, they could be a player, but again, because that's perennial contender. With him or without him, right? Is kind of what it feels like. Now the Dodgers have to do a lot to be able to hold on to that title. Feels like they're gonna. He likes that. So yeah, it's definitely in play. But I like the idea of just a rogue franchise coming through.
I hate that.
Royals.
Shohei Ohtani, you are a Diamondback.
Why do you want that? You just want another Angel situation? You would want another Trout show?
Not really, obviously. I think it'd be, it's just a conversation piece. Like, wow, the Royals, like I said, they want to move closer to downtown. And so they signed Shohei Ohtani for the next 15 years because at some point in time, they want to park his ass in that ballpark. They want to bring fans. They want I know that's as
Shohei Ohtani is the face of the Las Vegas Athletics.
That's not even a team. It's the Aviators, silly goose.
Right. Mm-hmm. The Las Vegas Athletics. They've got Shohei Ohtani. They've been saving for the last 40 years to be able to afford Shohei's contract.
Maybe it's the Montreal Expos. Quick, how far from Canada? How far from Japan is Canada? Got to feel like it's closer, right? Farther up north.
All right, I'm going to go
maybe not
Montreal to Okinawa.
Is that where he's from?
No.
It says 35 minutes. There's no way. Is there an Okinawa in fucking Canada? There's got to be.
No, sure
there's an Okinawa in Quebec.
Stop it.
All right, so Montreal. I swear to God, Montreal,
what are the odds?
Canada to Okinawa, Japan.
There you
go. Oh man, you're flying for over a day. 1 day plus 16 hours. There's no way that's a 2-day flight.
Yeah, because where's Montreal? Like fucking northeast, right? I have no idea right now.
What's the capital of Japan?
Japan's a country.
Yeah, there's capitals of countries.
True.
You're the worst. If I ever said that, I'd never hear the end of it.
What are you talking about?
What's the capital of Japan? Capital of Japan is Tokyo. Duh, you fucking idiot. You went there. You're an idiot.
You fucking threw me off with the Okinawa in Canada. Like I've been reeling since.
I don't know why I went Okinawa out of all the places in Japan I could have chosen. And the fact that like Joe didn't speak up there and be like, "Duh, it's Tokyo, dude."
I zoned out. I have
Tokyo, Japan to Montreal.
Go pee for Christ's sake.
Quebec.
I can't pee. We're talking Shohei. We're searching for Shohei right now. Come on.
Searching for Shohei. Tokyo, Japan to Montreal, Quebec, Canada. That flight, if you fly on Air Canada, 11 hours, 55 minutes, you're going to have a 12-hour trip there. It really depends on the airline. So, yeah, there's somewhere, a nonstop flight, you get there in 12 hours.
To Montreal?
Yeah. If you fly, you can fly Swiss and get there in 41 hours and 5 minutes. Ooh, you can fly United. 16 hours. Yeah. So about half a day if you fly nonstop. So we got Shohei signing with the Expos.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Shohei and Yupi and Ipe.
Dude, no, they'll probably make it a fucking expansion team for him. If they're smart. They really want to market their stars. Let's make a Shohei team in Montreal.
I would like that. All right. One more voicemail, and we'll get Joey's farewell to Dansby Swanson. We'll get the fuck out of here.
It's not easy being a Giants fan, but it's still a hell of a lot easier than being a fucking Oakland fan. Suck on that, Dallas.
Yeah, you know.
Damn, dude.
What did I do to Giants fans? What did I do to Giants fans?
You absolutely tortured them 2 years ago.
No.
You insulted them. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
What they're angry about is they're finding out that they just may not have been the dynasty that they fancied themselves. That's not to say that the success is false.
3 World Series in 5 years, dude.
There's no denying that success. None. But now it's like, hey, you went from being competitive for stars to not landing any of them, and now you're starting to cannibalize, and you're crying for the front office's heads. Like it's a bad. It's like folks are wanting to take long walks off cliffs. There's a lot of cliffs out there too. San Francisco. I don't want to see that.
No doubt.
Like
and if you're picking on the A's,
it's bad. And exactly, what do? Naturally, they turn across the bay. That's fine. That's fine. The day of reckoning is coming.
Joseph, if you would be so kind as to give us some farewell thoughts to World Series champion, not homegrown, but hometown boy, Dansby Swanson, as he departs from the Atlanta Braves and heads on over to the Windy City to join the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah, man, Dansby's a great player, and he won the World Series. Shouldn't have got married. They kind of ruined it for us.
I mean, it's
same mistake. He made the same mistake as Freddie. Once you start talking families, going down that route, prioritizing loved ones over the team, we can't have that, and we're not going to win that way. So,
it's the F is for franchise. The F is not for family.
Yeah. So, we should have seen it coming. We did see it coming. We all called it.
Yep.
We all called it.
Cubs, shout out to you and I, Joey. 200 milli. Didn't think he'd quite get there. 177. Is that correct, Jared? 177?
Yes.
Yep. 7 years, 177.
7 for 177.
Good shit, dude.
Good for him.
Good shit.
Great for him.
Yeah.
He's a beast now, and his wife plays soccer there. They're gonna fucking take over the city.
It's got see, F is for family in Chicago.
Yeah, not my franchise, but I like it for them.
Bob Nightingale tweeted, catcher Brian McCann, who spoke to Orioles GM Mike Elias, is thrilled for a new start. Well, he'll be backup catcher and play about 80 games. Brian McCann.
Do it, Mac. Catching and out in Georgia all at the same time.
How old is he now, Brian McCann? He is 38. I mean, he can still do it.
He could
the Red Sox just paid 38-year-old Justin Turner. Woo!
Yeah, we talk about the.
No, yeah. I don't have anything to say about that.
That was weird. The JD contract. What?
Wow.
Is he not good? Is he not worth it? $10 million seems like nothing. I'm like genuinely
it is
curious
nothing.
How that can happen. Like
it is
how
nothing.
Justin Turner can make so much more than him.
So Kevin Gossman tweeted, there's a fine line between dipping an Oreo for the perfect amount of time or having it break off into the milk. Sometimes in life, you got to take risks and be able to live with the consequences. Do we believe that tweet to be about an Oreo?
You have to read that again. I have no idea what the fuck. Say it again.
The only reason I even read that is because I was just thumbing through Twitter here, and the man that we were talking about, Alex Pavlovich, had quote tweeted that tweet with just a curious face emoji. And the tweet from Kevin Gossman is, There is a fine line between dipping an Oreo for the perfect amount of time or having it break off into the milk. Sometimes in life, you got to take risks and be able to live with the consequences. Joey, thoughts?
Yeah, he thinks that the Giants should have stuck with their guns on Correa.
Sounds like it. And Logan Webb, Giants stud, the fucking web slinger, responded to that tweet with a Will Ferrell gif. Can I get an amen from Anchorman?
So, but what if an overly strong masseuse already damaged that cookie?
Yeah, that's a great response. Yeah, so, I mean, it's just players in support of, guys getting paid, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Which is interesting because I feel like maybe players wouldn't have been so in defense of Carlos Correa not that long ago. Nature is healing. Players are standing up for Carlos Correa now.
That was their teammate for 3 days. They built a bond, baby. They're probably texting each
Gossman's
other.
not with the Giants anymore. Gossman is with the Blue
sorry.
Jays.
Fuck him.
Yeah. And the Blue Jays did respond
for doing that
to
to me, dude. Well, Logan Webb is, and they probably were in a group chat or something. I would probably. You think they added him to a group chat and had to delete him awkwardly?
Maybe.
Well, yeah, like
I could see that.
He started following a bunch of Giants players. He had the Giants banner like in his Twitter, and then
he did
gone.
So do you think does he have the Mets stuff up there yet? He might have learned his lesson.
No, he's probably you know what? We're going to go ahead and pump the brakes here. No reason to be a Met and a Giant and neither in the same day.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that.
Well, Joe, sorry you saw Dansby walk. Clearly, this signals that there's confidence in the youngster behind him, right?
Yeah, man. I just watched the video of Grissom and Michael Ayers. They're bowling. They're bowling. The boys are hanging out. No, they're fucking hitting strikes, hitting 300s, bonding, young, bachelors. That's the type of player I like. A young bachelor.
Young, single, just a home wrecker, not a home builder.
Yeah, man. No disrespect to Dan.
Yeah,
I love it.
Sorry, Joe. It's okay. Well,
you'll be all right.
Giants fans, hang in there. It's a tough one, but you'll bounce back. Look, it's it's an odd year too. It's gonna be 2023. Sorry, I tried. I was thinking of you. But one thing I'll say is Giants fans, in years where nobody, absolutely nobody that put the team together, nobody on the team, in those types of years where nobody saw success, you did. Remember that. And remember what those 107 wins got you. Because that's right around the corner.
You're a mean person.
I hate to be an arson judge who's setting fire to the pain. I don't want to be that guy.
Okay, well,
I'm just spitting facts. Giants fans, I love you. Hang in there.
No, he is lying.
Is that all we got?
Yeah.
We out.